These are the 9 most common causes of death globally. Number 9 is diabetes.
Okay.
This is the 8th most common cause of death globally. 8th is diarrhea.
Oh, wow.
Which is very common in people under 5 in the developing world. The 7th most common cause of death is Alzheimer's.
Oof. That's hard.
Okay, so before we go ahead and reveal number 6, we're going to turn this into a game.
Okay.
If you can guess the 6th most common cause of death, I'll give you $20.
Well, I know malaria is still a huge problem.
You want to guess malaria
I
for
think
6?
malaria feels like 6. It could be higher than that. And this is total count, right?
Total count. Okay.
Let's go with malaria for 6.
Malaria. The 6th most common cause of death is lung cancer.
Ooh. Oh, so we can get specific with that one. I figured that was going to be an umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the 5th most common cause of death. I'll give you $50 if you can guess it.
Okay, well, we got lung out of the way, and I know that mainly targets people in high pollution areas or smokers. Go prostate cancer.
I think prostate cancer, number 5?
Yeah, that could be 5.
Okay.
All right.
This is the 5th most common cause of death globally. What is it? Neonatal conditions. So that's like complications involving birth. Yeah. Especially in other parts of the world.
I didn't realize that one was so high.
That's a really big cause of death, and even in the U.S. too, it's pretty high.
Okay.
So $50 if you can guess the 4th most common cause of death.
Now, I know this was tied into number 7, but is just blanket dehydration on the board? Like,
I think so.
That feels like,
Yeah.
you know, I know a lot of people don't have access to clean running water.
Yeah.
And that can be a big one, but also starvation.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be in the top 5 for sure somewhere.
What I don't know is, are people likely to die of thirst, or is it diseases that start as they're due to dehydration?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I would think we're gonna see starvation before dehydration, because those 3 sevens of survival: 7 days without water, 7 weeks without food,
Right.
7 minutes without air.
Right.
So you can last longer without food than water. I'll go starvation for number 4, using that logic. Using that logic.
The 4th most common cause of death globally for $50 is it starvation. Respiratory infection. So
lungs,
breathing.
Lungs seem to be a big thing in 2 different spots here.
Exactly. Okay,
Wow, this
so
really gives you perspective.
I'm going to give you $50 now if you can guess the 3rd most common cause of death globally.
3rd most common. And I mean, accidents
Number
aren't all
3.
blanket, like automobile accidents or something.
It would have
like
to be
that.
specific, automobile accidents.
Are natural disasters on the list? Because I know those can
that's
take
eligible.
people out. Yeah.
It's eligible.
I know, with the tsunamis, earthquakes, those
Right.
usually get some pretty high counts when that happens. Let's go natural disasters.
Natural disasters.
Yeah, I don't think we've...
Judges.
Is that...
Natural disasters is
Cool.
fine. It's, you don't have to get more specific than that.
Okay, yeah, because if we count all of those...
Right.
I know that...
All of them combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's number 3.
Feels like a good top 3 guess.
Okay. Let's see number 3. Let's see if number 3 is natural disasters. This is the 3rd most common cause of death globally. It is
That's a lot to think about.
pulmonary disease, another kind of lung-related issue. That's so interesting how many of these. I hadn't even
thought about how many different ways the lungs can be, but it makes sense because that first 7 in the survival is the 7 minutes without air.
Yeah, exactly.
So anything obstructs that.
Exactly, and I would be curious to know what causes like a pulmonary disease. What are the most common causes of that? So if you know, go ahead and leave that in the comments. All right, $200 now if you can guess the 2nd most common.
Well, I think I might reuse a guess here, because I do know, unless I'm outdated with my facts, I know malaria is still a really big problem for a lot of the world.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it pop up yet. I'd be surprised if it was number 1. It feels like it could be the number 2 here. And, you know, I was going to make my number one guess cancer, but since we're getting specific.
Right, because we had lung cancer, can't just be general
it can't
cancer.
just be cancer.
So 2, you're thinking, sorry, say it again. What did you say it was?
I was thinking I was going to use
malaria
here, but then again, now I'm thinking obesity has been a really big problem, especially in the heavily populated countries.
We've seen diabetes, which obesity can cause diabetes.
Yeah, it usually goes hand in hand.
You know, what are some other diseases caused by being overweight?
You know, I think I'm gonna go with obesity for number 2.
Judges,
is that
obesity is not a cause of death.
Okay,
it can create some. It can
Let's go
lead
heart
to
disease.
Heart disease.
Let's go heart disease.
Yeah, heart disease.
It's a little more
certainly
specific.
counts. You're gonna go heart disease for number 2.
Heart disease, yeah.
Okay. This is the second most common cause of death globally. For $200, if you can guess it, is it heart disease?
Yeah.
Stroke. Oh, that's definitely something that can be caused by being overweight, by
and
obesity.
dehydration. So,
Yeah.
That was one I hadn't
Yeah,
considered.
that's what we were talking about earlier. Is that are these things causes of death, or do they lead to diseases that cause the death? So I'm going to give you $300 now if you can guess the most common cause of death globally.
Still haven't seen malaria, so either we've done a great job vaccinating in the last 5 years, and this is a current list.
It's a current list.
Okay, so either they've done a lot better in the last 10 years or so getting vaccinations out, or maybe this is still the top thing. Because, more than stroke, if we're counting those heavily populated countries where they haven't gotten the vaccines out, I'm sure that count is a lot higher. And I can't think of too many more things more prolific than a stroke. That happens to everyone everywhere. Or maybe this is heart disease. That it tends to be a big one that, that it affects people no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
All
right, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to guess.
Oh, man.
5, 4.
I'm going to stick with malaria.
3. You're going to stick with malaria.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with malaria. I think that probably is the most prolific problem.
Okay. The number 1 cause of death globally for $300. If you can guess this.
I'm going to switch to heart disease.
You're going to switch to heart disease?
Yeah, because I think it's more widespread. I think it affects people everywhere.
Okay.
No matter where you're from, this is something that you should watch out for. It's important to stay active and eat a good diet, because this tends to be I think that's one of the top ways that catches up with people as they age. Yeah. I'm going to switch to heart disease.
Okay. The number 1 cause of death in the world. Let's see it. What is it? It's heart disease. You got it. So $300. That's yours.